Welcome to Homecoming with the Downer Brothers. This is Anthony.
And this is Anton.
And we have a new episode for you today, man. Who we got?
We have Keithan and Key, the founders of Instaspeakers.
Instaspeakers. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. I think one of the most interesting things about it is that not only are you all partners, but you're also a married couple.
Oh, they married, y'all.
Yes, sir.
We are.
All right, so we're gonna dive right into it. You guys can, answer this individually. You married and everything, but you both may not have came from the exact same place. So,
Hope not.
Yeah, so he. Hilarious.
We're not from the hills of Tennessee.
No. All right, okay. Let's bring it back, y'all. Let's bring it back. All right, so I just want to ask you guys, what's your hometown? And also, when you were growing up, what did you learn about real estate, business, or financial literacy when you were growing up?
Ladies first.
Alrighty. Well, I am from the south suburbs of Chicago. All of them. I mean, we moved around from Markham to Homewood, everywhere.
Riverdale.
Okay. And I would say my family are like serial entrepreneurs. So I learned it from my mother. Her businesses with daycare. She is also a balloon artist. She has her own company now called Balloon Queens and Things. My grandmother had her own CPR service, and my aunt has her own book called Here. So I've learned a lot of things through their experiences.
Okay, it runs in the family.
Yeah. So, and I'm from Markham, south suburbs as well, and I kind of learned, business and things like that from the guys in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? From the street pharmacists and things like that. But then also, as I got older, I had a chance to go to a private high school because of football, and then kind of got exposure to another side of life.
You can shout out your school.
Well. I didn't graduate. I went to Marian Catholic for a couple years. I actually got kicked out of high school. So it's an interesting loop in the story. I got kicked out of high school. So went over there for 2 years.
He
Had a
has a
great
good
experience.
story, y'all.
Tell us about it.
And then after that, graduated from Bremen ultimately. But
And that's where we met.
yeah, that's where we met in high school.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. No, you got to tell us more about that because your profession. What's your profession now?
I'm a lawyer.
You're a lawyer by trade.
Corporate lawyer. Yeah.
So you went from going to a private to a private high school, getting kicked out, and then you ended up finishing at a public school, Bremen.
Correct.
But then you went off to college. Where'd you go?
Yeah, I went to Eastern Illinois for undergrad. Played football up there for 3 years.
Okay.
Got my bachelor's in applied engineering. Graduated for 3 years with that, and then went to law school, University of Illinois. Graduated.
Urbana-Champaign?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Oh, okay, go Illini.
Yes,
We
sir.
graduated from U of I. Go
Smart
Illini.
man. I graduated from honors at U of I, and that was cool. So the interesting thing, it usually always comes out is while I was in undergrad, I had adopted my 2 younger brothers. So I raised my 2 younger brothers as well. So I was a single father. Yeah, when I was 19. So,
Man, good man.
Yeah, trying to make it happen, man.
And you all met
I
at
know
U
y'all
of
can
I?
understand
No.
the brotherly components.
No, we
All right.
met at Bremen in high school. So
Yeah, we've
we
been
were
together since high school, man.
Okay.
sweethearts, but I went to U of I for undergrad and graduated. in 3
Wait,
years.
all of us are alum? Wait, have we ever had an episode where we all...
No, I don't think we've had an episode where we were all...
I-L-L-I-N-I. All right, okay, I know. Some of y'all listening right now,
And then
y'all.
actually, Rontavi and I, man, we probably got between my siblings and their spouses, we probably have, I think we count like 13 Illinois degrees, so we deep.
Oh man, y'all deep
Wow.
over there. Okay, man. Hey, maybe we come to the cookout. Can we come to the cookout?
We deep. And my little brother played for Illinois as well,
Right.
football, so we real deep in it.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. We gotta talk more about that later. All right, so dude, I'm so hyped about that.
I know. How did we not know that before when we were like looking into you all's website?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And we, this is homecoming with the Downer Brothers. So you taling about homecoming, man? We can all end up at homecoming next year together. You know what I'm
might
saying?
actually end up all there together.
We gonna holler at y'all. We gonna let y'all know.
Let's do that. Down in Brothers tent.
That's right.
Tent for the tailgate. Absolutely.
All right, so he spoke about being an attorney. So and you all have created this business. What were you doing outside of the business?
I was actually in law school. So I was on that path, but I dropped out to focus on Instaspeakers full time. So now I'm the COO of Instaspeakers.
And just as a quick plug,
Yeah,
Instaspeakers, for those who don't know,
Right.
is a live, on-demand translating app. So anywhere you are in the world, you're traveling somewhere, you encounter someone who speaks a different language, you can use our app to get a live video call from an on-demand translator. So that's for travelers, but also hospitals. We got some big things we're working on with some hospital systems. That could be, social services, whatever. Anything time you encounter someone speaks a different language, you can use our app instantly and get access to a translator, as well as most major spoken languages, as well as American Sign Language as well.
All right, so not like it was about 2 or 3 years ago. I went to Cuba. Right, I made the trip down to Cuba. I love Cuba. I hope that we can open those doors a little bit more so everyone can experience it. But hey, they speak Spanish down there.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So I was down there and I was thinking to myself, man, I wish I did have something. So you saying I can get on my phone?
Yes, sir.
Right. And what happens when I get on my phone?
So you pull up the app, you select the language you don't speak. So for you, it would have been Spanish, and then you essentially book, and then you can get an opportunity a translator to come on and video.
So
for you.
like
A real person.
real person.
So kind of like FaceTime. Like I'll see a person.
It'll be a FaceTime, exactly.
Right.
Essentially a FaceTime call.
All right. So then I would just kind of turn my phone to the person I'm talking to and that's actually in front of me.
Exactly.
And we're both looking at the screen, and now the person on the screen is talking to both.
Exactly. So when you talking, they're gonna say what you saying to the other third party, and then when they speak back, they're gonna say it where you can understand as well.
Dude, I think that's huge right there. Look, we went to the Dominican Republic in January of 2016. Well, I think that was the first time I went to the Dominican Republic. I'm steady trying to use Google Translate, and by the time you didn't put in a sentence and whatnot, there's other things you want to say or other things going on with the conversation, and it's like, well, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I always say,
hassle.
right. It disincentivizes you to talk to people. Like you're not gonna have a conversation with somebody doing that. You're gonna essentially gonna move on. You're like, this is too much.
Right, so this is almost like the United Nations or something like that. Because when I think about like translators, for me, I always think about. I don't know why I always think about the United Nations, but I know at the United Nations they got the little earpiece and someone's translating for them. But you got your instantly with your phone. You got somebody who you're talking to.
Literally got every language in your pocket. So we call our app a conversational tool. It allows you to have a conversation with somebody in a different language, not just say a word or a phrase.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
I think that's huge, man. Because this is the thing. We have Bahamian descent.
Yep.
Like half our family's in the Bahamas. It's English speaking country, so that was an easy enough transition to say, hey, to your friends, hey, let's all go to the Bahamas. But then we want to say, let's all go to the Dominican Republic, or let's all go to Ghana,
Yeah, that's
Nigeria,
true. That's real.
places
That's real.
like that. We definitely need this app for that. Right?
100%. Where you guys from in the Bahamas? My wife's mother-in-law is from my wife's stepmother. My mother-in-law is from the Bahamas.
Yeah, from Nassau.
Oh, okay.
Majority of our family's in Nassau.
Yeah.
We have some family in Freeport, and we were kind of
And
lucky.
Abaco, too.
We were kind of lucky, but we were kind of lucky that it wasn't really too much of our family that was directly hit by Dorian.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
nice.
that's love.
Yeah, we'll be there next year for Christmas.
Oh yeah, gotta go to Junkanoo, y'all. Junkanoo.
Yeah.
We did hear about that. Yeah, we
Yo, that's
we love the
that's
Bahamas.
gonna be the meetup then, man.
Yeah.
But y'all gotta tell my husband to get off the resort because
I don't leave Atlantis. I like the Cove.
You
Atlantis,
want to
the
stay
resort.
on the resort.
No,
Nah,
we'll bring you over the hill.
No.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't cross the bridge.
No, that's what I'm saying. Look, to me, you don't experience the Bahamas, and like here we are on a tangent. But this is homecoming, right? We talking about homecoming, so our homecoming down to Nassau. If you really want to enjoy your experience, and we were all down there together, it's when we take you off and we go visit our aunt, we go visit our cousins, we go to jam with our Uncle Brent. He has a reggae band. He has a studio, and we playing all the music, and everybody's coming over, and the real food cooked by the real people. You know, it's different from the resort.
And I probably would do that with somebody who got family there. But
Yeah, and-
me and my wife went. When we went, it was just us. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I ain't crossing. You know,
I feel
this.
you.
How I tell my wife,
I feel you.
like, if somebody comes to Chicago, they're gonna stay downtown. You ain't gonna be, hey, let me take you to the West Side and show you the West Side. Let me take you to Cape Town and show you what it look like. You know what I mean? Like, that just wasn't for a tourist. That's not what you would offer them.
You have hood sensibilities.
I did.
Yeah.
My wife
But-
said I'm scared of dogs, and she's like,
Right.
I'm like, look, where I'm from, dogs wasn't nice.
Well, if you go down on a homecoming trip with us to
gonna have
Nassau,
to make it happen.
y'all, we gonna make it happen, and it'll be something you'll never
and I'm gonna
forget.
put my guard down.
And talking about Christmas down there, Junkanoo. When you go to Junkanoo, it's kind of like what you would think of as far as like Mardi Gras. We have all the different. We got one family. We got the Saxons. Who else am I thinking about? The Valley Boys. These are all different groups,
Oh, okay.
and I'm talking about 200, 300 person groups.
Wow.
That are
Your drum
that
line
are competing.
is like your drum line got like 20 people in it.
Yeah,
so
Oh, wow.
that sounds
The,
dope.
Yeah,
the women
so-
dancing is like
Right.
30 of them.
So okay, all right. So
Yeah.
And we
This-
may be in the Bahamas too. You got invited to speak in the Bahamas. So we working on something as well. My wife just got invited to speak
in the spring.
at a big tech.
All
big
types of opportunities.
Yeah,
All right, so our audience is like, y'all done talked about Bahamas enough. Okay, we feel you. So
I mean, we can transition to a different country though, because Instaspeakers for an American audience or even African Americans that want to go to Ghana or South Africa through Travel North, different places like that, they would need this app.
Yeah.
how much does the app cost?
So $1.50 a minute.
Right.
$1.50 a minute. Okay.
$1.50 a minute.
All right. So you
And average call time is like 2.5 minutes. So most of your needs you can get done for less than a cup of coffee.
Right.
Well, I say a bag of chips because that's more related.
It's free to download, but when
the app is free to download.
Okay.
But using the app is $1.50 a minute. And then we have what's called a vacation package. So if you're on vacation, you can purchase a block of minutes up front at a discounted rate so that you don't have to even worry about constantly being charged while you using the app throughout your vacation.
But even after this show, we'll create a coupon code for like the Downing Brothers if they want to use it. Yeah.
I'm honored. I know. Thank you. I was thinking about that, but I didn't want to say anything.
That would be very cool of you.
All right.
I appreciate.
No doubt. Okay, so you know what? I want to take this time to go to our segment called Homecoming Events. And today's homecoming event is there's a 31-year-old black developer that gets a nod for a $41 million project. His name is Brandon Rule. He's developed roughly $50 million in affordable housing projects through his company Rule Enterprises and has an additional $180 million currently in his development pipeline. So on Friday, November 15th, it was reported that the city of Madison, Wisconsin has recommended that Rule be awarded the contract to develop a 30,000 square foot grocery store, 150 unit apartment building, and 345 space parking garage on a city-owned lot. So, shout out to Brandon Rule making it happen as a developer.
And tell Brandon Rule to hit us up because actually we're working through the construction industry as well because we know, as you all know, there are a lot of non-English speaking contractors and subcontractors.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you guys and people in the industry have been navigating through that best way they can, or you have one person that's bilingual that navigates that. So we actually been working with and trying to create some partnerships and relationships with some of the bigger construction companies here in the city and nationally as well to have this as a service for their
I think that's a great idea. Great idea.
Where there's a need, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, when you create a business, that's what it's about. Creating a need.
Exactly. And a solution.
Or answering the need, I should say.
So, Brandon, if you need assistance with language tools, let us know.
That's right. Instaspeaks. So, what we got next, man?
Anton's definition of the day. And the definition today is tech startup. A tech startup is a company whose purpose is to bring technology products or services to market. These companies deliver new technology products or services or deliver existing technology products or services in new ways. And I think that's exactly what we have here today.
That's right. So you guys are a tech startup. So, I mean, did you, like, do some, where did this idea come from? Like, tell us about that.
So I wrote the idea, ironically, maybe like 4 years ago. I keep a book where I just keep notes for ideas that come to me. I just jot them down, kind of, you know, whatever. And didn't do anything with it. Just wrote it down, walked away from it. We actually were looking at an investment opportunity with some friends this in the early winter, like January, February. And I was getting ready for the meeting and kind of just popped open my notebook. And it, you know, kind of, you flip through usually, but I stopped and I'm reading. I'm like, what is this? And I'm reading through the notes. It was, you know, towards the front of my notebook. And I was like, this is what I should be doing. Like, he just hit me in that moment. I don't know why I didn't do anything. You know, timing is everything, right? Like, life is about timing. And in that moment, I just knew, like, this was it. And from that moment, we went, you know, all in and really just busted our tail to say we're going to invest in this and we're gonna bet on ourselves.
Hey, it's nothing like betting on yourself. And, you know, honestly, I feel like when you're working for yourself and you're working for your own dream, I don't know about you all, man, but I fall asleep thinking about it. I wake up thinking about it.
Oh my gosh.
I enjoy the challenge of making things come together, bringing resources, having those meetings. When I'm working for someone else, I'm like, okay, it's a job. I need to go there. But when I'm working for myself, man, like I'm enjoying the journey.
Nothing gonna compare, man. Nothing gonna compare to creating your own legacy, breaking generational curses, right? Trying to create that next thing. And I think that's what it's about. So when you grinding so hard, especially as a tech startup, I mean, Keontae talk about this, right? Like, it's important to realize, like, the journey is the reward. Right, like when you get there, when you've arrived, like, okay, cool. But the reason why that moment matters so much is all of the grind that came before it, right? And so we really at this moment where we enjoying this process of creating, of going through the challenges, the ups and downs, creating and figuring out our business. Because when you make it, that's why you appreciate it so much. So if you don't appreciate and take advantage of this time and understand it, then making it don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what we've been trying to do, is just embellish, roll with the punches, and understand that this is part of the journey.
Right. I got a question. When it comes to like a tech startup, is it expensive to create an app or to create a business like the one that you're doing? Like, is it something that you just saved up for on your own? Did you have to go get a small business loan? Like, how did you?
No, it's definitely expensive.
Yeah, if you don't code, if you don't have a tech
Right.
background,
You have to outsource that stuff, and which we did. We had to use different companies to help us create the app because we don't have a tech background. So it's helpful if you have an actual tech background because you can do the groundwork yourself, but we had to resource that.
and also, I mean, it also depends on just what type of app you're creating. So, and Frank, it cost us a couple $100,000 to get things going, but the thing is also the functionality that you have, right? Our app, in terms of what we're trying to do, is fairly complex on the back end, so it takes a lot of work. Like, people don't understand, like the video call feature. You can't just like tap into FaceTime and make that. You have to create that
Yeah, the code
From scratch.
Yeah, that has to be created, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just depending on different functionality. I say that to say that nobody should be dissuaded. If you don't have a couple $100,000, you can't invest that. It just all depends on your level of functionality of your app. Some apps are much simpler and they don't need as much functionality, so you can get them done a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Ours, just because of the level of complexity that we had, it costs us a little bit more.
All right, so I know our listeners, they come in and they what they want to know is how you do something or where you go to get it. So did you get like an SBA loan or do you go to a venture capitalist? Or I mean
right now, like at this point, we all bootstrap, all the money that we can run our business came from us, right? Like, so we started this whole thing off on our, and we did that strategically. So, if you want to talk a little bit about it, but our reason why we didn't go to people initially.
Well, yeah, so we didn't want to come to people with an idea. We wanted to come to people with a product.
Okay.
So we decided, we put in our own money and our own effort. People think that we're taking it seriously, which we are, but they'll want to invest in it as well. So our mindset was like, instead of just coming here with an idea and having somebody buy into it, let's come with a product so we can demonstrate and then have them actually see our vision. And
because we all been in them strategy sessions, I call it, where what a great idea would be, or a great app would be, or great this would be. You have a conversation, it's cool, it's, oh man, that's dope. You walk away, don't nobody do nothing, right? And then you come back, and y'all have a
powwow
later, y'all do it again, and nothing happens, right? Different ideas. And
so,
and then people are like, I gotta protect I gotta get it patented, trademark. And I tell people this, and for listening to this, idea doesn't mean SHIT. Forget an idea. Execution is what's rewarded. People will talk about all the time. I had a lot of people talking like, man, how did you protect your idea? Don't worry about protecting your idea, right? If you think about somebody stealing your idea, if somebody steals I want them to be very successful. So that I can sue them and get a percentage of it, and I have to do none of the work. Right. Like, trust me, the least of your concerns is sharing your idea or somebody taking your idea. It takes so much work to have a successful company, or to take an idea and make it successful. Don't worry about that. Worry about creating and the execution. So other part why we did that is we didn't want to have these fruitless idea sessions where nobody do nothing. We want to tell you about what we're doing and not what would be cool to do or what would be amazing to do. Like, we did this. So now we're working with venture capitalists, right? Because you got to be able to scale. So now we're taking meetings with venture capitalists, talking through strategy, getting investors and stuff like that. Because your own capital only gets you so far. Right. But initially, we decided to bootstrap ourselves. Some people shop ideas, so it's nothing wrong with any entrepreneur out thinking. There are a lot of companies that get funded on just an idea. That is totally possible, and you can do that. But just for us, we want to get it going. We don't want to wait around trying to get the money to do something.
Yeah, and I imagine like when you were pitching it to people, if you're gonna say you already have an LLC, that you've already invested X amount of dollars, it makes them believe that your business is going to succeed.
Or the fact that they can actually pull it up on their phone and it's actually already there.
Right, and that's what we do when we've been meeting with investors, right? It's like, you can go to the app store and download the app, and then let's do a test call, right? Like, instead of like, here's my presentation, and this is what it's gonna look like, and this is how it's gonna be, and this is how it's gonna function. It's like, no, go get it right now, and let's do a test call, and I'll show you.
Right, on Instaspeakers.
Right, exactly. Yeah. On my actual app right now that's there.
What's it called again?
Instaspeakers.
Instaspeakers. You gotta get the plug in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so,
appreciate that.
all right, well, you know what? normally we say, "What's your dream plan? Execute moment." You just gave it to us. I mean,
I really do feel that.
I really feel like
I
that.
feel that.
But there is power in writing down your ideas.
100%.
Because when you actually take out that pen and you write it down, it now has become into the world. It's actually physically here. It's outside of your body now and on the paper. And even if it took you a little while to come back to it, the fact that you wrote it down, because had you not wrote it down, it's gone.
It's gone.
You know, a few weeks ago we had Rico Nance on the show, and we spoke about Habakkuk chapter 2. Write the plan, and men will run to it.
Yep.
You know,
That's real, man.
Because you wrote it and you invested in it and you pitched it, people are running to it.
That's real. That's
Right.
real. And I'll tell other entrepreneurs as well. It's like my number one piece of advice, and I know I didn't ask this, but I think it's important, is spend some money. You know, and that's what I think what helped me and my wife really. This is how you get out of the idea phase into the execution phase. Spend some money.
I spend money.
Whether that be whether that be like forming your LLC or buying some product for whatever. Like spend some money, because then you have to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
You don't have to hold yourself accountable to just throw an idea out there and talk through it. When you start spending your hard-earned money towards taking steps to doing something, then you're going to hold yourself more accountable. For us, that's what kicked it off. When we paid that first deposit to our development company, and it was a big number, like, we in it now, right? Like, ain't no turning back.
Right,
Money is
no
spent.
turning back.
You know, I want to return on my money. So I think that's the best piece of advice I can give is just like, if you on the fence about something, spend some money, and then you're going to hold yourself accountable. I promise you will.
You know what? I can testify that you're telling the truth. Because our journey, whether and whether you followed it or not, I've gone to Instagram and actually saw where it started off by us just making the decision. I'm buying this property.
Yep.
Then it went to buying another one to serve a purpose and a need that we had.
Right.
Then it was like, oh, we want passive income. Let's buy another property that gives us passive income. Like, and then actually doing it. And then you start, and then it was like, oh, well, then the TV show, and then the podcast, and it was just like, we're going to go and do it, and
It
we
started snowballing.
and then it just started snowballing, and now people, some people out here know who we are.
Y'all popping. I said for you, y'all popping. Don't be humble, y'all popping.
Yeah, so but I would say this, like, God gives you these opportunities, you just got to be prepared and you got to move forward with it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, I would leave it at that, but I got a question for y'all.
Yep.
It's homecoming with the Downer Brothers. What does the term homecoming mean to each of you?
I'll let you go first. I want to think about it.
Yeah, so for me, I mean, it just means family. That's really what homecoming means to me, because if you think about it in the school context, it's going back to your home, right? Family. So for me, family is everything. It's the reason why I adopted my two younger brothers when I was 19 and they were 14 and 15. It's the reason why, I'm doing everything I can within the law. I literally went to law school because I said I want to do something that I feel like my community is underrepresented in, or that I feel like we're afraid of. It came down to medicine or law. And as I said, I graduated undergrad in 3 years with applied engineering, so I was so far in that if I wanted to do medical, I would basically have to start over. So I chose law. But that's literally the only reason. I want to have my family. I changed what the definition of success was in my family. Traditionally in my family, you were successful if you graduated high school. You didn't have a girl that was pregnant when you graduated high school. Like, that was a win. You got a job, whether it was $10 hour. And I was like, that's not. And I went to a private school I said, that's not the level of definition of success for them. Like, their parents don't consider that successful. If you just graduate and don't got a baby and got a job, that wasn't successful. I said, why is the definition for my family of what success is so low? The barrier is so low. And so for me, it was about upping the standard. And so, like, I look at, for me, what I did, now I got, two of my younger brothers had double masters from Illinois. My younger sister is at Illinois right now, right? Like, that lineage now is growing and increasing. And it started with me saying, I'm going to step up the standard a little bit. Like, just graduating high school ain't enough. You don't get no kudos for that. And now in our family, a bachelor's don't mean nothing, right? Like, I got a law degree. My two younger brothers got, double masters. Like, now you got to come with 2 degrees to even sit at the table.
We had the same story, man. When we graduated from U of I with our bachelor's degree, my mom was like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
gonna let you get a rest before you do your master's degree. But she kept bringing up the master's degree and every Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, but I mean, education is important. Oh, you know what? Before we go off on that tangent, please. How do
I come back?
No. Honestly, from your heart, when you hear the term homecoming, off the top of your head, what does that mean?
I mean, naturally, I think about going back to your alumni, your school. But I would say being able to benefit your community and going back to your hometown, I would agree with Keithan on that. That is something I envision with homecoming. So, but yeah, he took the cake. I mean, you made it tough for your girl.
No doubt. Well, one, I just want to say, man, I'm proud of you all. Your story. Absolutely. I mean, we want to raise the bar, you know what I'm saying? And to hear that, I'm just like, yo, there's so much more I want to do. And I would love to be married to a beautiful woman one day, you know what I'm saying? Hey, my wife, if you're listening, I'm looking for you. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to raise the level, you know?
Big phone, who this?
You know? So continue with this homecoming theme, though. Is there a homecoming cause, or is there a not-for-profit organization that you guys want to highlight or support?
So me and my wife, the last 3 years have been on the associates board of Rush Hospital, Rush University Medical Center. So that is their philanthropic arm. So we help raise money for different causes, whether that be the Children's Center or the Cancer Center or the Neuro Department and things like that. We've been a part of that for 3 years.
They also have a great STEM bridge with the Crane School in Chicago. So it's
they do a lot in the community, especially on the west side. And so we've been actively involved in that for 3 years. We give money every year, participate, like I said, on the board, helping raise money for the causes. So that's probably what I say is the homecoming charity moment for us.
Man, you hit it right on the head. That's exactly what we was looking for. We really appreciate everything that you guys brought to the table. At this time, can you let us know where they can find Instaspeak and where they can find you all?
Oh, so on Instagram, it is Instaspeakers App. On Facebook, it's Instaspeakers.
On Twitter, it's Instaspeakers,
It's Instaspeakers. Me personally, Keontae or Key. You can find me at Major Key Alert. It's QUI on Instagram.
And then you can find me on Instagram at khead_. And I really don't use Twitter like that, but.
I'm the same way. I got a Twitter, and
we got to get our Twitter game.
I look at the push notifications, but I never put anything up.
You get the emails all the time, but my wife is like avid in Twitter. She's been in it more of the last year. I'm like, yo, I didn't realize how much Black Twitter really be popular.
No, it's great for Black tech also. Like they have a whole thread, and that's why I'm really on there often.
I'm just waiting for y'all to say, hey, we're pulling up in this country. Who all coming? We're gonna be using the Instaspeaker app while we there.
Let's go. Let's go on an adventure. Let's go on this adventure together, y'all. All right, man. So follow the at Instaspeakers and check them out. If you come to the Downer Brothers page, you will see them highlighted and you'll see the clip. And you know what I'm saying? Rewind it. There was something that you learned or you didn't understand. Go back and listen again because this is the first time we've actually had someone come with technology and talk about that on the Downer Brothers podcast. So, we really appreciate you all's time. And we'll be looking forward to traveling and using Instaspeaker in the future.
Absolutely.
Thank you.